Christmas is a time of joy, reconciliation with the family, and love. Lots of love, fellas. And if Christmas for you means kidnapping scientists, stealing presents from Santa's previously shut down sleighs, fighting terrorists, elves, and the agents of the Matrix, then something is seriously fucking wrong with you. Luckily, there's something wrong with me too, so feel free to sit by the fireplace and listen to the Christmas story of Postal Dude in the Postal 2 Happy Night mod. By the way, I'm sick, so I could sound different, but the video needs to be done. About game. But before we get into the actual story, we need to discuss some basic information about this great production. So Happy Night is a mod for the game Postal 2, produced by the Revival Games studio and released most likely on December 12, 2016. I say most likely because while doing research I came across different dates and versions of the mod, and to be honest I was getting a little confused, so I will use the official article from authors on moddb.com, which says Postal 2 Happy Night released today, 12/12/2016. So I'm guessing that other versions of the mod were available earlier, but only in December 2016 the creators could officially say that the mod was ready. And while we are on the topic of articles, the next one from November 13th, 2022 mentions Happy Night 2.0. Revival Games developed version 2.0, so today we can play the latest version, that is Happy Night 2.5 Director's Final Cut, released on March 23rd, 2023. Damn, my English is surprisingly good this time. I swear to God, if I see another fucking comment telling that I should eliminate my foreign accent, I'll fucking kill myself. And it was the version that I played, and it is the version that we will discuss today. Okay, but what exactly is Happy Night? Because just saying it's a Postal 2 mod isn't enough. According to the description on moddb, Postal 2 Happy Night is a single-player experience set in the Postal 2 universe featuring a unique dismembered system and wonderful Christmas story. Hop hop hop. So Happy Night is a quite extensive story mod that not only adds a new story, but also improves elements of the original game. For example, ragdolls, AI and animations, and adds several elements and mechanics of its own. For example, weapon upgrades, shops and working vehicles. But remember that this is a mod from an independent studio and not a serious production of a multi-million-dollar corporation. So this mod is packed with all kinds of references, Easter eggs and other such things. Which is very cool for me because I like this kind of things in computer games. And you'll see how I reacted to one Easter egg. And I guess that's all from the About Game section. It's a bit difficult to find information about this mod because it's rather a niche topic. So if I missed something or got something wrong, let me know in the comments. By the way, you can leave a like and subscribe to the channel because it helps me develop. Gameplay. Overall, the gameplay elements of the mod are not very different from the gameplay of original Postal 2, but there are a few differences and interesting additions that we'll discuss. Let's start with the map, which obviously had to get a Christmas skin. So everything is covered in snow. From time to time we can meet snowmen on our way. Just look at this cutie. Oh shit, he got a crack pipe. Yo, cut the tape, we can't let children see this shit. Decorated Christmas trees. Just look how beautiful they are. And they do not have a crack pipe. And generally, the whole map has Christmas elements. The interiors of houses and institutions have also received a Christmas version. And you can see socks on the chimneys, Christmas trees on the floor, and gingerbread on the tables. But that's it when it comes to the visual aspect, because the mod also slightly changed the structure of the map. Well, we can no longer visit the Running with Scissors office because it's simply not there. What does it mean? Well, unfortunately, we'll no longer be able to visit Mike J's beautiful office. I'm guessing it's due to the timing of the mod, but still. Locations such as Junkyard, Church and Cemetery have also been changed. The Church and Cemetery have been replaced with a new location, the Doll Factory, and Junkyard has been completely removed. The final change is that we can no longer access some locations we had access to in the original game. These places are, for example, the mall and the library. And that's all for the map. Or at least I think that's all. So now let's move on to the key element of our beloved series, that is weapons. When it comes to Postal Dude's arsenal, there have also been a few changes and some weapons have been removed, but a few have also been added to the game. Let's start with the unfortunately removed content. The weapons that have disappeared from the game are scythe, machete, sledgehammer, revolver, flamethrower. As for the new equipment to the game have been added katana, slingshot, Ingram, HK MP7, firecrackers, crossbow from Half-Life 2, plasma weapon, BFG, flamethrower but in a different form, and freezing gun. I have no idea how Postal Dude even came into possession of plasma weapon, but good for him. I also have no idea where these fucking store sellers got the plasma weapon from. Like, you walk up and the lady asks, "What can I get for you? A cookie? A whiskey?"
Or maybe a weapon powered by the fourth state of matter.
No, you know what? For me, just a cookie will do.
So maybe you'd like a katana to cut down Matrix agents.
Or maybe add a weapon for some green shit to this set.
At BFG, we have a buy one get one free promotion.
Yo, did someone say motion? Bro, there's motion at your front door, man. Yeah, stole that meme. Yo, shout out 3FS. Oh, and I wanted to add that the M16 is absolutely fucked up, and during gameplay it froze a million times, ruining the game. Now on a slightly different note, do you know what's right next to the weapons? If you said items, then very well, give yourself a point or something. But yes, Happy Night added some items to the game that have different uses. For example, Chinese food, cake men and candies, which are healing items, drugs that give Postal Dude a nice high, whiskey, after which Postal Dude has a slightly lower high and drinking ends in a unpleasant incident, arcade tokens that we can use to play at Grossman's Arcade, Nokia 3310, which I don't know what the fuck is it doing. I mean, it says that this Nokia is some kind of an upgrade, but I can't figure out what this upgrade is supposed to be for. Or I'm just fucking stupid. iPhone, thanks to which we can become a useless influencer by taking selfies, rings that were left over from the minigame, and I also don't know what they do, and a few other items. That's all from about weapons and items in general. So we can move on to the last part of this chapter, that is mechanics that have been added to the game. The first thing we will discuss will be the narrative elements, as Happy Night has expanded on cutscenes and added dialogue to the game. Dialogues can be experienced immediately after entering the game, when Uncle Dave approaches us, usually in the form of someone saying something to us and we respond with some phrases like "thanks" or "okay, bye." You know, like a complete fucking NPC. But sometimes we have a choice of what we want to say. When we talk to Uncle Dave, we can choose what item we want to get at the beginning of our journey. And when we talk to a stranger standing in front of Uncle Dave's house, depending on what we answer, we will get a different reaction. But okay, time for another point because I got a little bit carried away with the dialogues. Pigeons. Pigeons have been added to the game. And if you ask why, then the answer is who the fuck knows. But okay, next, no time for bullshit. Shops have been also added to the game where you can buy weapons, ammunition, food, important items and upgrades. It is something like vending machines from Paradise Lost. There are various stands spread across the map, staffed by different characters who sell different items. And now it's time for something really interesting because in the original Postal 2 there's a place called Grossman's Arcade, where people play arcade machines and have a good time. Well, it's now time for us to have some fun, because thanks to Happy Night we can play 4 different games on these arcade machines. We can choose from Super Mario Bros, Sonic Adventure, Dude Ninja and Project Marika. After completing each minigame we receive rewards like Katana, HK-MP7, BFG, Freezing Gun, presents and rings. The second interesting thing added by the mod are vehicles. In the real world we can only drive the vehicle located near Lucky Ganesh. However, there are many more vehicles available in the game, and to access them we need to play Project Marika in Grossman's Arcade. We can choose from vehicles such as motorcycle, Ben 10 car, tank, 1987 Volkswagen Golf, Lamborghini, Optimus Prime, Galvatron, Dragon, some crazy ass spaceships, Dashi from Happy Wheels and few others. Of course, these are not official names, they just look very similar to what I said. Returning to the topic of shops for a moment, some of them have upgrades available for purchase. Or rather, one upgrade because that's all I managed to find. This upgrade is the double weapon upgrade, thanks to which we will be able to hold 2 weapons at once. Similar effect from Paradise Lost, but this one is permanent. Finally, we are left with physics and the ability to lift objects and body parts. This element is used in one mission and when it comes to some secrets because we cannot get to some places normally and we need, for example, a crate to boost ourselves. Additionally, there is another mechanic available in the cheats menu that only works after being enabled. It's Dude Spider, which allows the main character to climb walls and looks a bit like something straight out of Garry's Mod. And that's all when it comes to gameplay, at least I think so. So we can go to the next chapter, which is Story. Overall, the plot of this mod is really fucked up, so hold on to your seats and grab yourself maybe a katana to fight the agents of the Matrix. Okay, let's start. Let's just start, okay? We begin the adventure by watching someone running through the corridors and running away from zombies. He manages to escape by barricading himself in a room and then sits down and opens a book that some TTS is reading.
A long time ago.
Okay, shut up, I'll read that. A long time ago, in the town of Paradise, before Christmas has happened this story. This story about Postal dude. He lived in Uncle Dave's house. But in this Christmas, he can't stay in the city, so that his adventure happened in this happy night.
Happy night. Happy night.
After reading, we see the words happy night and hear some sick orchestral beat in the background. Will this be important to the plot? Absolutely not, so let's move on to the story itself. We begin on December 31st, 1974 in Dude's house. Most likely, little Postal Dude wakes up in the middle of the night and walks around the house calling for his mom. Then he comes down the stairs and sees a light coming from the room. He opens the door and sees what appears to be his father killing his mother with a chainsaw. I'm guessing that this scene was meant to show that being a fucking psychopath runs in their family. Or maybe we're dealing with Dexter Morgan here, and because he saw his mother being murdered, he will now gladly grab a gun too. Fast forward to 20 years later, in 1994, this time at Uncle Dave's house. Now as an adult Postal Dude, we wake up and the first thing we see is some random person puking on us. Really? There was nowhere else to puke? A moment later, Uncle Dave comes to us and says that while we were sleeping, the police came to the house and said that we owed the government over $1 million in back taxes and we have until tomorrow to pay it off. So we're screwed and we need to help Uncle so they wouldn't lock up this little shithole. The plan is for Uncle Dave and his associates to shoot down Santa's sleigh to collect 666 gifts from him and sell them on eBay, where they go for $6,000 each. Additionally, he will give us a few more tasks to complete. At the end of the conversation, we can choose one of 4 starting items. Generally, all of them except for the race ticket are fucking useless, but it's the gesture that counts, right? Uncle Dave leaves and we, like some fucking Spider-Man, put on a Santa Claus costume to hand out presents and spread happiness on the streets of Paradise. So that's a fucking lie. After changing, we are approached by Uncle Dave's co-worker, Tony, who tells us to meet him at the gas station and he will help us with our tasks. Once we get to the gas station, the first thing Tony does is give us a Glock. And when I look at it, the whole situation seems very funny to me. But Tony says he made a deal with some doll factory owner who will help to pay the debt off if we just break into the lab and kidnap a few scientists. To me, sounds like a regular Friday. Meanwhile, Uncle Dave shoots down Santa's slave by shooting him with a rocket launcher. After that, Tony gives us a few more tasks to complete. We have to win the race to earn some money, find and encourage our father to help us, light fireworks all over Paradise, and of course remember about the presents. Tony teleports in front of a shopping mall and waits for us to legally recruit a few scientists, and we are given free will. But I prefer to do everything in order, so I immediately approached Tony, and when he asked if I was ready to work, I was given the opportunity to give a very funny answer. No fucking seriously? Yo, maybe not in public, man. After a while, we are driving a truck and I think we hit someone. Oh well. We get to the place, the Lindray Laboratory, where, as I said earlier, we have to kidnap several scientists because they are working on a very expensive drug. So Tony gives us a syringe and tells us to get to work, but quietly so no one notices us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the job's done. But I guess the quiet thing didn't work out so well because the alarm in the facility goes off and some secret service from Chernobyl runs into the room with my favorite M16 rifle. So we need to get to the truck as quickly as possible and escape from the scene. After reaching the vehicle, it leaves without us, so we have been fooled and the unknown person drives away with the bodies. Who could that be? Fuck it, I don't know. We have to inform our boss about the whole incident, so we go to the doll factory, which is a bit creepy. And when it comes to the dialogue with the boss, we have several options. In my gameplays, I could say that the vehicle was stolen by men in white clothes. I don't know if I can say the name, but I think they were called the Fanatics, or by Satanists, or that I don't give a fuck about the scientists and give me my fucking money. The results? In every case similar. Someone just wants to kill us. Well, we fight the enemies and escape from the doll factory. In the meantime, lighting fireworks and collecting gifts, we move on to the next key location, the asylum. Once there, we have to go through several rooms, avoid several patients who for some reason are on the loose and have weapons, and flip a few switches. After doing this, the door to block C opens. We go down the stairs, enter the elevator, go down, go to block lab, and we are attacked by some scientists who are running with scissors. No, literally, they're running with a fucking scissors. But a shotgun always beats scissors, so we move on and, well, things are slowly getting scary. I'm starting to feel very uneasy walking through these corridors. At one point, we pass a door that Postal Dude's father himself opens, swings a chainsaw and destroys the floor. We fall to the floor below and things get really scary. The entire room is dark and you can't see anything, and the only source of light are the matches we throw. The first time I saw it, I sat in the first room for 5 minutes because I was afraid something would jump out at me. But as we continue on, we encounter SCP-173. No, you didn't miss here, and yes, this SCP-173. He just stands there as we move through dark rooms and flip other switches. After a while, we leave this dark place and go to the same place where we last saw Postal Dude's father. We enter the room and...
Damn. Holy shit. I regret nothing. It's from my mother, I swear.
Hey, we thought of integrating, but after we've been attacked with a chainsaw and pierced with a katana by our own father, we wake up in a hospital. And what do we have here? Dear viewers, ladies and gentlemen, Sword Art Online reference, bitch. In Postal 2 Happy Night, we have a Sword Art Online Oh fuck. Well, I guess there won't be another season. But back to the point, we leave the hospital and go on collecting presents and setting off fireworks. I stole a quad bike behind the shop and hid all the fireworks on the map. As for gifts, I locked myself in Grossman's arcade and played the arcade machines. And I also got a katana. Now we're off to the last point of the list, the race. We enter the area. If we already have a ticket, we can enter the race itself. We get onto the snowmobile and start the Need for Speed Most Wanted Snow Islands edition. Of course we win, so good game well played. And after completing all these tasks, one final task appears on the map called Go to a Party. From this point, a lot happens, so hold on tight to your seats and listen carefully. We arrive at the place and it turns out there's a party going on at Paradise. We have to get inside, but we're not going to wait in a line and we have a ton of weapons on us, so we're unleashing a shootout. Unfortunately, not far away, it turns out that the gate to the actual event is closed, so we have to take a detour. We pass between containers where men in white suits are waiting for us, and we have to fight them. Going a little further, we meet Tony, who managed to find the truck. It turns out that the men in white were behind the theft of the vehicle, and unfortunately, we are surrounded by them. Moreover, they have special forces from Chernobyl to help them, so we need to deal with them all. After a bit of fighting, we can get inside the strange church where Tony was standing, and now we have to defend our friend from danger for some time. After the defense and a very interesting conversation with Tony,
I think I'm just fine with that.
Fine, thanks.
we can return to the party, and this time the gate is open, so we can approach the stage at ease. But suddenly, we get hit in the head with a shovel and we lose consciousness. And the only thing we see is someone carrying us out of the party. We then see the perspective of another person who sneaks into the hideout of the fanatics who planned to kill Postal Dude on that very stage and ruin Christmas. Then we see that unknown person sneaking up and hitting us in the head with a shovel. It turns out to be Postal Dude's father who wanted to save his son. He tells us that the fanatics want to destroy Christmas and we can let them, so we have to destroy them. After fighting numerous fanatics and their leader, elves spawn and light fireworks next to the stage. And a moment later, Santa Claus and his wife arrive on the stage in a sleigh. Santa tells us that we haven't been very good this year and we won't get away with stealing presents. So he teleports us to some strange room. After searching through many doors, we finally find the right one, which takes us to a room where Santa's wife is tying our father to a chair. When she notices us, she starts attacking and we have to free our father from the chair. Once we do that, he takes the chainsaw and... well, good job. We enter some strange portal, which takes us to a mysterious platform. After a while, elves appear around us and spin the wheel like YouTubers to choose punishment for us. The arrow stops a death trap and we fall into the abyss. Then we appear in some completely white space with 2 chairs and a door. When we go through the door, we enter a corridor full of lava where we ride on a platform. From the platform, we have to jump into the ventilation to avoid being burned in the furnace. And after passing through this portal-like section, we go outside, where someone throws a katana and we have to fight the agents of the Matrix. After defeating enough of them, the door opens and we go inside, where Father is waiting for us, thanking us for helping to defeat Santa's wife and saying that now we have to deal with the Santa himself. And he explains that we are probably in a dream that is just ending. We go to some arsenal where we can take every weapon available in the game. We go up to the father and shout happy night, he gives us an emote and we go to fight. We snap back to reality and have to defeat a few elves, while Santa Claus drops bombs on a building, does a few laps around the stage and smashes his sleigh into the wall. Then we begin a boss fight, where Santa throws various enemies at us, from elves to monkeys to Xenix. We manage to defeat Santa and can check the last task off our list. After defeating the main boss, another transition occurs, and this time we wake up in a strange room. We go through the door and find everyone waiting for us at the Christmas party. Tony congratulates us on defeating the fanatics and Santa Claus. Uncle Dave says that his house charge is getting closed anyway, so we can't live there anymore. And Father asks if we have any plans for the future. Postal Dude replies that he actually has one more thing to take care of.
This is your time to pay. This is your judgment day. They made this sacrifice and now I get to take your life.
Surprise.
Oh, how sweet. It's very nice that Postal Dude decided to give all the presents to the children. I hope nothing bad will happen. After writing this script, I feel like watching an older Christmas comedy. Well, I told you the plot is fucked up, but okay, let's move on. Summary. Do you know what my favorite month is? December. Do you know why December? Because it's Christmas. And do you know what my favorite game is? Postal 2. Do you know why Postal 2? Because I'm fucked. This mod combined my 2 favorite things, and now I can die in peace. So, the mod is awesome, the atmosphere is awesome, the M16 is shit, the references are awesome, Sword Art Online checked, so I can honestly give it a 9.69 out of 10. Okay, now a little more seriously. I really like this mod because of its Christmas aesthetics, and it definitely adds a lot to it in my eyes. There are bugs, and there probably will be because it's a mod for Postal 2 and not a separate project. But I personally haven't encountered many of these bugs. The only thing that really pissed me off was that fucking M16 that was bugging my entire inventory every time. Correction, it turns out the problem is not with the weapon, but with the game itself. From time to time you can observe slight stutters. I think that at these moments the game is simply loading something, and if such a stutter occurs while shooting, the weapon and inventory simply freeze, and you have to load the save again. As for the mechanics, I certainly didn't expect the ability to drive a car in Postal 2 or the ability to engage in dialogue with characters. And of course the working machines in Grossman's Arcade. That really stuck in my memory. As for the plot, it's fucking stupid, fucked up, and looks like someone made it up while drunk. And that's what's beautiful. Honestly, the first time I played it, I constantly had a question mark over my head and a smile on my face, wondering what the fuck is going on that screen. Like, why do I first fight the fanatics, then meet Postal Dude's father, and then we fight Matrix agents and Santa Claus? I felt like I met someone with an equally vivid imagination. So I personally liked the mod, and it was definitely a cool experience considering the fact that thanks to this mod I was able to rediscover Postal 2 a bit. And that's all for today. Let me know in the comments if you liked the video. Remember to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Also let me know what would you like to see on the channel in the future. In the meantime, I wanted to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. May your dreams come true and may the next year be better than the last. I invite you to other videos, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, Twitter, and see you next time.